I want to say what a pleasure it is to be here today in this glorious Maryborough Day in the Elizabeth Park Rose Gardens. This has been a very, very important community park for a century now for Maryborough, and it's all the more special because of the contributions of different community groups, most in particular Rotary, Zonta and the Maryborough Horticultural Society. It's gone through a number of names, but as Juliet Capulet would say about a boy from the wrong family that she had a crush on, a rose by any other name would smell just as sweet. And it's gone through these different names. It's now known as the Elizabeth Park Rose Garden, and the different names have largely been precipitated and caused by changes in the House of Windsor. It's been known as Elizabeth Park Rose Gardens because Queen Elizabeth II has been our queen for so many years, but I know that the eldest child of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge is named George, so I'm looking forward to in the years ahead when it can be called George's Rose Garden. But in the meantime, it's in very good care with Zonta, the Rotary and the Horticultural Society. What you're doing for this community with the Rose Gardens is really, really special. It's a much loved park. It has been for a century and it will be for many, many generations to come.
The Rotary Club of Maryborough back in 1939 got involved with this project, and it was then previously a park, but they got involved in putting in playground and equipment for the park. So you're standing on formerly consecrated ground. It was a cemetery for this 50 years history, when in 1921 it became a park, and I think at that time they were worried about the encroaching development in Maryborough coming in on the cemetery, so they relocated it to where it is today. The idea of the Rose Garden, I believe, came about in '54, I think it was, or somewhere around that time, when Paul and Park Nursery, that people probably remember, was out in Tanana, donated the roses. I think they donated something like 600 roses back then to this park, and I guess it's still here today.
Zonta's association with Elizabeth Rose Gardens is because of our international symbol, the yellow rose. And we currently have 2 beds that we look after. This one newly planted, which will be full of yellow roses very soon, and the one over on the far side with the 4 columns in it, which we used to celebrate 100 years of Zonta International in 2019. In the bed over there we recognised 24 worthy women from this community who have contributed over time to our community in a variety of ways, and we had a very special celebration, and that garden full of yellow roses with those wonderful women celebrated really designates the aspects of Zonta. We're very happy to be part of this celebration, and we look forward to seeing the storyboards or the murals or whatever happens in the future that will tell the actual history of this sacred ground. One of the women celebrated in our garden is in fact lying at rest here in Elizabeth Rose Gardens. So Zonta is very pleased to be part of this project.
Well, the Maryborough Horticultural Society is very pleased and I guess very honoured to be here today. We are a stakeholder in the garden, the same as Zonta. We sponsored the Elizabeth a plot up there with the Governor Macquarie rose in it, and I think we donated 25 roses to that, and we also commissioned the park bench to be placed there as well. One of our ladies, Elizabeth Booth, vividly remembers running through this park as a young lady through an arbour of roses, and that was one of the suggestions that we put forward, was the arbour, and I think that that's probably going to go ahead. We're getting some quotes as we speak, so that's wonderful. And the Maryborough Horticultural Society will always support the Elizabeth Park Rose Garden as the need arises. So, with maybe the climbing roses over the arbour, we're quite prepared to put our hand up and say that we'll do that, Brad, with the roses. But before I go on any further, the rose gardens today are the best that they've looked in many years, and that all comes down to the hard work by Randall and his boys under the supervision of Brad and also Dario. But Randall today you shine. You shine like those yellow roses in your yellow shirt, because it is just absolutely spectacular. We put the Elizabeth Park Rose Gardens on our agenda for visitors when they come and visit the open gardens, which was a couple of weeks ago, and thank you for making sure that you had roses out, because they came back and told me that the roses were quite spectacular. So thank you on behalf of the Maryborough Horticultural Society, and congratulations to the Fraser Coast Regional Council. A wonderful concept. Thank you.